Hi, Matt with etrailer. Today we're going to talk about the Gustafson Dinette light fixture, and this is going to be the one with the fabric shade. So this is going to have something with more of a diffused lighting when it comes to the sides here at the top. So here at etrailer we have a ton of different light fixtures that you can come and choose, but this one's going to be a great option if you're wanting more of that light directly down at where you're sitting. So when you're eating or you're playing a game, you need a little bit more light for that. But you don't need as much light at the very top, because the way this works is we're going to have that fabric shade, which really, if you look at the sides of the wall here, the ceiling, that's very diffused. Compared to other lights out there, this is going to be a lot more bright. And we're also going to have this other fixture that wraps around here. It kind of gives us this nice design to it. It's going to have this black finish there and that mesh. That's also going to be repeated with the very top, where it's also going to have a black finish. And in most cases, that's going to help it feel more natural in the setting of your RV. Now, when it comes to the light inside of here, this is going to be a type of LED light, so it's going to last a long time. Now, when I compare it to other ones I've put in here, it's not going to be the warmest light, but it is still a warmer tone to help it feel more homey inside of here. Now, when it comes to the size of this, the nice thing is it is going to be a little bit shorter than other options out there. So it's going to be roughly around 7 inches. So you're going to be less likely of bumping your head on it. Now, I will say it is going to be wider. Keep that in mind. If we're going to the most outside section where that metal mesh is, that's going to be roughly around 13 inches. So a little bit wider than other options, but I think that also makes it look a little bit nicer too. Now, when it comes to living with this, let's say you're playing a game, you're eating, but when that's over, you want to keep the rest of your lights on, you want to shut this one off, you can do that. Just come over here, press this button, turn it off. And you'll notice there's a big difference in just that lighting. This really does give us a lot more of an idea of what we can see inside of here. That's when I turn it on. Now we can see a lot better what we're doing. So overall, I think if you're the person that needs more light directly on your table so you can see what you're doing, this is going to be a great one for you, especially if this matches the interior of your RV. Now, if you do decide to go with this, let us know how it's working for you in either a comment or review, and definitely send us a picture of this so we can see that light and how it's helping you out. Now, when it comes to installing it, it's going to be pretty much the same process for any other type of light fixture in here. We do talk about some tips and tricks that make it a little bit easier, but when you are hooking up your electric, just make sure you turn off the power so you don't shock yourself. But with that said, let's get started. So first we want to start off by taking off our old light fixture. So in our case today, it's kind of hard to reach, so I'm just going to grab a smaller ratchet with a bit on the very end of it and move it this way. I'd recommend also keeping the hardware to this, because the kit we have today doesn't come with any hardware, so you're probably going to have to reuse this. If this hardware is damaged, I'd recommend just picking some extra up so you can install your light fixture. Really just 2 screws for most of them. We're going to have these wire nuts that are already on here. Sometimes these aren't going to be on there, so we're lucky enough that we can reuse this. If you don't have any on here currently, then you can pick them up. Now, sometimes you'll have this type of style. This is going to be something you'll have to cut off or break off, and those aren't recommended to reuse. So if you have the wire nuts, you'll be good to go. Our original light did have 2 bulbs on it, so we had an extra wire in the equation. All I did was just cap this off with a wire nut and some electric tape, so we should be good to go. Now we can put our new light fixture up there. We can grab our new fixture and just make sure we get everything prepped up for that. Now when we're connecting this, we're going to connect to our ground and our power. And typically you're just going to be connecting white to white, black to black. If you have a friend, this might be a tad bit easier to attach these, because you notice when I'm doing this, I'm holding the fixture at the same time. I don't want to have the wire holding this up, because the wire is holding this up. That's going to be a lot of weight on there, and it could damage something, so it's better just to have it held with the other hand, or have a friend help you out. Grab our nut and screw that into place, and we're going to repeat that same process with our black wires. connected to power because I don't want to install this, find out it doesn't work, and take it back down. So we got power back on, and we're good to go. Sweet. So now we can start installing it. Now the pattern for where those screws are going to go into place is fairly wide, so it might not match up with your original hole, so you might have to screw some out. And then we'll just line everything back up to place and make sure we don't make contact with any wires when we put these screws in. That's pretty much it. Now, a tip for you when you are putting in those screws, I'd recommend turning off that light because it can be a little bit hard to see what you're doing within your eyes. But if you guys have any other questions, let us know here at etrailer. And again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.